Hello, my name is Chase Smith, and today we will be conducting a correlational analysis. Our agenda for today is first to describe a correlation. Then we'll do correlation tests and findings and sets of tools. 1 and 2, income and savings, and debt and savings. 3 and 4, savings and stocks, and income and stocks. 5 and 6, stocks and wallet, and income and wallet. And finally, takeaways. So what is a correlation test or analysis? A correlation test is done to determine if there is a relationship between two variables using a hypothesis test. The null hypothesis states there is no correlation, and the alternate hypothesis states there is a correlation. The correlation is represented by R, a correlation coefficient that ranges between 1 and -1. The p-values will be calculated using the PSPP software provided. We will reject the null hypothesis as significant when the p-value or observed calculated probable significance is less than or equal to alpha, and fail to reject the null hypothesis if the p-value is greater than alpha. The first hypothesis test, income and savings. The following correlation test was conducted. The null hypothesis is there is no correlation between income and savings. The alternate hypothesis is there is a correlation between income and savings. The correlation coefficient and its p-value were calculated using PSPP. A significant correlation emerged where the coefficient was 0.91, the p-value was 0.0. The test rejected the null hypothesis and concluded there was a correlation between income and savings. Our second hypothesis test, debt and savings. The following correlation test was conducted. The null hypothesis is there is no correlation between debt and savings. The alternate hypothesis is there is a correlation between debt and savings. The correlation coefficient and its p-value were calculated using PSPP. No significant correlation emerged. The coefficient was 0.026 with a p-value of 0.75. The test failed to reject the null hypothesis and concluded there was no correlation between debt and savings. Our third hypothesis test, savings and stocks. The following correlation test was conducted. The null hypothesis is there is no correlation between savings and stocks. The alternate hypothesis is there is a correlation between savings and stocks. The correlation coefficients and its p-value were calculated using the PSPP software. A significant correlation emerged. The coefficient was 0.284, while the p-value was 0.00. The test rejected the null hypothesis and concluded there was a correlation between savings and stocks. Our fourth hypothesis test, income and stocks. The following correlation test was conducted. The null hypothesis is there is no correlation between income and stocks. The alternate hypothesis is there is a correlation between income and stocks. A significant correlation emerged where the coefficient was 0.19, the p-value was 0.018. The test rejected the null hypothesis and concluded there was a correlation between income and stocks. Our fifth hypothesis test, stocks and wallet. The following correlation test was conducted. The null hypothesis is there is no correlation between stocks and wallet. The alternate hypothesis is there is a correlation between stocks and wallets. A significant correlation emerged. The coefficient was 0.194, while the p-value was 0.017. The test rejected the null hypothesis and concluded there was a correlation between stocks and wallet. The sixth and last hypothesis test, income and wallet. The following correlation test was conducted. There is no correlation between income and wallet for the null hypothesis, and the alternate hypothesis states there is a correlation between income and wallet. The correlation coefficient and its p-value were calculated using the PSP software. A significant correlation emerged where the coefficient was 1.0 and the p-value was 0.0. The test rejected the null hypothesis and concluded there was a correlation between income and wallet. Takeaways. The p-value and correlation coefficients provided information for determining our hypothesis. The PSPP software provided information for calculating data. This concludes the presentation. If you have any questions, please leave them below.